cheap beer drinking, stinking hillbilly from West Tennessee. Oh, but yeah, I was trying to look. I'm trying to duplicate what happened last night. I got a little fire going over here where I cook my ribeyes. I've been throwing little leaves on there. The trick, put little pine needles in there. That'll learn. They're like, cause they like pine trees. You know what I mean? So I ain't turned any music up out here in years. But after last night, man, that was crazy. And I swear, Ouija's acting weird. And she was looking across the street. And when I was setting up this, I could see it looked like one. I could see it. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't a tree or anything, but it looked like a head sitting there in the trees looking, right? And I'm looking. So I do the two fingers toward my eyes and I point straight at it. And I'm like, all right. And I kind of moved to the left and I moved to the right. And I kept moving. Then I moved to the right and I stopped. I wasn't moving my feet, I was, shifting my body. And then I swear I saw it kind of duck a little. So I moved back to my original spot. Man, there's like two. And I was like, but I wasn't going to move this camera because I got it focused right up where you'll hear something if something does something. It's just crazy. Oh, shit. But I got to keep it on Ouija. This is the time of night I don't like her to be here. What time is it? I can't pull that down. But I'm just going to be kind of quiet and act normal. We'll see what happens. People's last stand. What's going on, man? No, man. Look, last night I ain't never heard great horned owls down at like, you know, the forest floor level. And there's three of them. And my crazy ass, I was fixing to go find out if that was a great horned owl or what was making that noise, right? But when I got up in those woods, I was like, I realized the one main one that I was following, the noise, had become to where I had two flanked on me on each side, one on each side doing the great horned owl kind of thing. And I'm like, oh shit, I done screwed up. And my bang bang fell out of my waistline and everything. I'm standing there, I'm like, shit. I'm just sitting there. I was running, man. I was chasing the sound because I want to prove what it is. Is that a great horned owl or is that one of them big feet? You know, is that Sasquatch? This time of year, you were in the live stream when that thing screamed. I think both times. And I was playing music, not the second time. And the third time I heard it, I was going to bed. And, it was quiet, quiet. I've been putting some leaves over here on these coals. You hear that Oh man, yeah. And look, it's crazy. And I don't know, you're probably in that it was a late night live stream. and Ouija barked, and she was barking behind the house and everything. So I snuck around in the dark with that 20,000 watt candle watt spotlight, and I snuck around there and I kept listening to hear where if something was back there where it was, and I heard where it was, right? So I slipped to where I knew I could get a direct beam on it. And when I stuck that beam on it, I don't know what I shone my light on, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh shit, what the hell is that? It looked like a starved to death greyhound or a daggum deer. I don't know what the hell it was, but that thing took off. And man, I don't know. It ran like a grasshopper or something. It was weird. And the way it was running, man, it was going to go in between my two cars in the driveway. So I made a beeline for the back of the cars. And I was fixing to beat it to where I would have blocked it in between. I slowed down, right? That thing came out. I mean, I could have touched it. And I'm still trying to figure out what the hell it was. I mean, that was freaky as shit. I stopped. You know, that thing walked on up the driveway and ducked underneath the cable and looked at me like you ever. Yeah. And then I told my neighbor about it. And then he told me that was a skinwalker, man. So I got back to the house and I sat there and I Googled skinwalkers and started looking at pictures. And I found stuff that was kind of close. And I'm like, yeah, I guess that's what it was. But my neighbor had seen it like 2 months earlier behind his vehicle, and it ran out the driveway toward the road. And he told me about it, and I forgot all about it because, you know, sometimes I just think it's just imagination might get to him, right? But he described what I saw, and then later on after it happened, I don't know how long I ain't keeping up with it, but he said a friend of his that was a friend of my friend saw it. And I ain't never talked to him about it. And, you know, it was in the same time period. And now I got people wanting to buy my story for a book and video documentary. And I'm like, man, I don't want anybody to know where I'm at because I think there's some of these researchers out here right now because of that Greyhound. But man, there's been some cars I've never seen, and they're going by a lot. So I'm just, you know, I'm like, I don't know. And I don't want to do it for fame. I want to, you know, tell my, you know, what actually happened to me for fact. I don't even have to have a picture. I don't even want my real name used. You know what I mean? I'm John Boy. We'll just leave it at that. Yeah, I am gonna watch my six, man. Man, oh, dadgum, this thing ain't been scrolling or nothing, y'all. I'm sorry. It was still showing watch your six. Oh, I don't know. He's just, you know, he's who he is. That's all I can say. I mean, you know, I don't brag about all the things I can do or whatever, you know, secret powers and this, that, and the other. But there's there's this weird deal with me. I can sit there and I can feel a person's energy or whatever, right? So when I feel his energy, I feel him when he was like 6 years old, and that was the worst time for him, really. And I just feel it. And he just was seeking attention and love or something, you know what I mean? And any kind of attention was better than no attention at all. I just see that as a 6 year old. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that somehow when I see people, and like you, man, you're, you're like me. I mean, you weren't influenced by, you know, the world needing attention. I'm not an entertainer, but some people feel they're entertainers. Jennifer, hey. Didn't see you come in here, my bad. This thing ain't scrolled. I'm just wondering whatever happened to Rose, man. I miss her. I really do. I enjoyed. Hey, come here. I just heard something around. She jumped up. I think I'm gonna turn the music down. I'm gonna get quiet for a minute because I'm trying to capture some audio. See, like last night, I started hearing a daggum donkey way off, right? You know, donkeys around here. And then it turned into, well, I was videotaping like a young whippoorwill trying to learn how to sing. And then an adult one showed up. But, you know, that adult one, I mean, a bang bang went off and it never stopped. And then all them supposedly, great horned owls were hooting. And there was like five of them. There's three on top of the very top of the hill ridge there at the peak. It's a ridge, but it's the top. It's an inclined ridge. All right, it's like there's a top, but there's three of them up. I mean, hang on, two of them up there and three of them down there. And I got a lot of audio, but it doesn't pick up good with this phone. And then I thought I was going to be able to hook up stuff to my tablet, and I'm like, oh man, I can't find nothing. And I'm in a rush because I got to do some crazy stuff. But I was trying to stay committed to this, but I need to go to bed early. I ain't got time for daggum 1:30 in the morning phone calls about documentaries. You know what I'm saying? I got a life. I got to work every damn day so I can have enough money to go to work and survive with the rest of the bills. That's crazy. Man, I didn't know you moved your into a different apartment, man. How come this thing ain't showing any comment? Oh, here we go. It finally pulled them up. I don't know nothing about none of that. Let me put mine up real quick. I'm gonna turn this radio off. Where y'all at? I can't see. It's got dark out here. Y'all heard anything yet? This portion of John Boy is brought to you by. Oh, you can't even see it. It's so dark. Mhm. sprinkling a little coffee grounds on the coals. It kind of repels the mosquitoes and stuff. Fix that set up this tablet. Just use its own microphone. Oh shit, that thing's bright. Look, why has it got that? It's John Boy and applesauce. How come this thing? Oh, I didn't slide it fast enough. Look at that cloud right there. I hear some leaves up there. The whippoorwill's going. That's a good sign. I'm telling you, these things are tied in. I think somehow or another they can use the bird's eyes, the squirrel's eyes, and they can view through. It might sound crazy, but I've always noticed if you see crows or start hearing crows, they'll be around. And now it seems like whippoorwills. Then the whippoorwills turn to some crazy sounding crap. I'm sorry it's so dark. Point up this way. There. We'll just look up through the canopy there. It still catch the same sound. Look at this Lexus audio editor going. I'm telling you, I like this thing. But I don't want to ever use it. I'm thinking about making some songs. Like about chemtrails. Can't you see? I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna use like, I mean, it just comes out. Alright, I got the audio recorder going, but I couldn't hook up my microphone like I wanted to. I gotta get some more cords. Say that whippoorwill guy, just shut up real quick. Am I missing anything? How come I can't see chat? So what are you trying to say, Jenny? That I'm a real mother? Man, does that not look like one of them to the right lower corner right there? Does that not look like one of those opera masks? Man, that's crazy. Then that one in the middle right there looks like he's a bird or something. Got like that long nose. Then you look way over there on the far left. Looks like a daggone either a bunny or a deer. I don't know if that's antlers or ears. Now everything changed. What? Just like the clouds. I can't get that chat to come up. Is anybody saying anything? I ain't never, well, I guess Ying Lang does come in a can. Ying Lang is not the cheapest beer you can buy. If you want a cheap beer compared to Ying Lang, you gotta buy a Corona. What was I supposed to call it? I don't think they like this big old. I'm hanging around this afternoon and doing this crap right here. This is how I encountered everything I never encountered. I just wasn't looking. Crazy. But yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna go poop any of that good stuff. I already put it out there on one channel. I put it out here on this channel so many times. That's enough. I don't need to be in any documentary. It might depend on how much cheese. I just don't want to be exposed, and I don't want to expose my area. But in order to do a documentary, I got to expose the location of the Black Panther. I mean, it sounds crazy as hell, but there's a Black Panther out here, man. And I can take you to his den. You know, it's crazy as hell. God, that gunshot. Somebody's probably shooting at one of them big peaks. I heard something go off over that direction earlier. I think it had been a 50 caliber. There goes another. That been fireworks on Mother's Day? I can't get a fire. Well, I had a fire cooking. I kind of smoked, slow cook smoke sometimes. You hear those dogs barking over there? I'm telling you, fire gets this thing. Because, you know, fire can burn their homes down. Oh, I just, oh, yeah, turn around. I live on a hill, so I got to set my tripod up with one leg shorter. I hear leaves crackling up there. Could be a deer. Chill out. Applesauce. I love you, applesauce. Hey, something, a crow crowed, which, you know, I doubt if it was a crow. And I was like, So I was going to get a video of it crowing. So I could say this is your birth sign. That thing. As soon as I turn the video, the camera on, it stopped. You gotta be kidding me. It's like every time I turn the camera on, it stops. And last night, man, I was chasing whatever was making that sound, and I was going to determine if it was a great horned owl or what it was. I wanted to see what was making that sound. Oh, that's crazy. I can't stop myself. This is how, years ago, when I heard them doing the knocking, it was because of smoke. They just got to make sure the forest stay on fire. They're going and scouting. Around here, there's a lot of hills and valleys and ridges. And you can smell, the way the air current works. It's kind of like, I don't know, that commercial with the Misty Fountain incense burner thing. That's kind of how, but anyhow, this terrain is kind of like that. You get hot pockets and cool pockets. And it's just like I got different kinds of weather on my own property. It can be raining on top of the hill, but not raining because of the humidity or whatever. Not raining in the lowest part. It's just weird. Everything got quiet. It got quiet. But see, Harry, I'm gonna try to catch it, and it's not gonna do it. Day late and a dollar short all the time, man. Story of my life. Oh, thank you, Lord. I'm so grateful for this life I've been living. I don't lie, I don't cheat, I don't steal, rape, kill, nothing like that. So thanks for rewarding me while I'm here. That's the Lord of this world, not the creator. If that makes any sense. Because I'm one crazy daggone keep beer drinking, stinking hillbilly dadgummit. Yep, I'll go on my quest in the morning. Yeah, it's gonna be weird. I ain't done nothing like that since the 90s. For real. Man, I remember when I first got this property, I sat there and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take a little vacation. I had enough stuff that I did not. Well, I did go to Dollar General once in a while, but in a 3 month span, I didn't go to any big city, right? And when I did go to Jackson, after 3 months of not being up there, I was like, oh my goodness, it was like freaking me out. I've been so used to being, I didn't drive anywhere. I stayed on my property for it was like 3 weeks straight. I did not get off of it. Well, I didn't get in the road. I didn't go to town. I was just trying to see if I could survive, you know what I mean? Just the bug out camp, you got to test it out. But man, in the beginning, I used to come down here so I did drink cheap beer at one time. and I had my Jeep, and I was back there in the back part of my property and caught a daggone tire on a tree stump and blew it out. Daggone darker than crap. Everywhere my property's on a hill, right? I'm like, oh shit. I had a tent set up already. I had a 10 by 20 canopy tent in the middle of the woods with a pup tent in it, and then I had like a red brick campfire thing that I made. And then, I was like, shoot, I'll just sleep here tonight. I done drank a bunch of that cheap beer. That freaked me out when that fire lit up. I was looking off it out in the woods, and when it fired up, it made my shadow. At least I didn't scream. Mm. Oh, you hear that? Oh, that's fireworks. Somebody's doing one of them artillery shells. I might be trying to run something off too, because I like smoke bombs, right? So I go to this fireworks place, and I'll get smoke bombs all the time. And they got some that last like 10 minutes. Dude's like, you got a bad coyote problem? I'm like, no, why? Because people usually use those to keep coyotes away because they stink so bad. But I just do them so to draw in the big guys, you know what I mean? Because they'll sniff out that smoke. And there's fireworks. Somebody, what's weird, that's like a main highway way over that way. People live off of. It's not even connected to over here. There's a lot of space in between here and where those fireworks are. That's woods. It's just pure out woods. I hear stuff. Now I'm telling you, the other night we've just been acting weird, and it's because it's the season. But man, I was hearing like footsteps in the leaves, right? And Ouija was looking, where I was hearing the sounds, and it was enough. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna record this because it sounded, like two legs, not four legs. And when I pulled my phone, turned it on, the screen lights up. When that screen lit up, whatever it was took off running, and you could hear the footfalls on the ground and kind of feel the ground. It's weird how to explain it, but I can feel shit. And you could hear it. I mean, each footfall was like, it made some distance quick. And I didn't even get it on. Hey, Mike, did I say hi to you already? This daggone chat ain't coming over right. And I'm gonna have ticks all over me. Well, you know what? If they're shooting fireworks over there, that's gonna run them suckers this way. Maybe that's why they're shooting fireworks. And those dogs are barking. I'm telling you, not 200 foot from here, right on top of that ridge, was a daggone Black Panther laying in the road. Because my buddy was driving, and there's a stop sign at the end of that road. And before he got to the stop sign, there's this Black Panther laying in the road. It was like in the fall time or something. And he didn't even tell me about it. I'm like, dude, if you had seen that thing, you should have called me as soon as you saw it, not tell me about it a week later. I mean, that's 200 foot from me. this area, sound travels, man. We got so many valleys. I'm on this ridge, and I'm glad somebody else realizes it too. This ridge is like a circular ridge, and it goes all the way up through like Paris, Tennessee, comes down through here to Jackson, where I'm at, and hoops into Mississippi, and goes back into Alabama, and runs all the way up to the Appalachian Mountains. And if you look at it, it looks like a crater, and the center impact was like Huntsville, Alabama. Yeah, I hear stuff moving to my right. These things use the trees, man. They won't even be on the ground. But it makes a lot of noise when they're jumping tree to tree, so it ain't quiet. But they make some distance. Just like a daggum chimpanzee, man. I ain't never seen nothing like it. And I did get a snapshot of that. So I usually listen to the dogs, and you can tell which way something's moving by which dogs are barking. You know what I mean? Somebody toilet papered my yard one time when I lived in Oakland, and I come out, and they took off running, and I just listened to where all the dogs barked through the neighborhood until it stopped, and I was like, "Yep, that's who I thought it was." And then they're like, "How did you know?" I go, "I'm psychic." Yeah, depending on the way the wind or a little slight breeze or whatever. There's sometimes I can hear my neighbor that lives on the. It's like I'm on the. I don't know how to explain it. I'm on the side of this hill, right? It goes down into the bottom, and then it goes back up on the other side. It's kind of like looking at something in a mirror. And my buddy on the other side, it's like a half mile or maybe three-quarters of a mile. It's probably three-quarters of a mile. But if it's just right, I can hear him talking in his driveway. And I told him, and he's like, "No." And I told him, "Well, you said that dog's name was Jake." He goes, "I guess you did hear me." Because I didn't know the dog's name. Nobody ever told me. I told, and then there's this other guy that lives way behind me on this bridge road. That's where some very I found I think human leg bones back there. But I think that was from probably something that happened to somebody a long time ago, and I ain't gonna say it was a wild thing that did it. Hell, when I was a teenager, man, I heard a twig snap. Oh well. Something way down in the valley that's on top of the ridge we're facing. What's crazy is I ain't heard any coyotes or anything. Those coyotes usually fire off. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna shut this down. See, I'm telling you, man, these microwaves and all this G frequencies, my mind is scrambled. It's a little closer, but still way off. While I'm doing this, oh, something really stepped off stick onto my right. This daggum screen is like lighting up an area. 6 foot, you know what I'm talking about? Like a sheet of plywood. That's all I can see. And this light lets me see when something's got eyes on me too. It could be deer. See, I don't jump to conclusions. I just, hey, I'll get the snowflake. Tylen, how you doing? Welcome to America. What? Teacup. Teacup. How you doing? Good to see you. I hadn't heard from you in years, I don't guess. That's back when you used to do daggum hangouts on air, stay on air for 72 hours. They finally had to strike that cell tower of lightning to get me off the internet. Yeah, applesauce is in the house, or was. Yeah, we did that sunrise and sunset around the world, or whatever it was. And that's when old Tales of the Blue-Eyed Indian said, look, there's a car. All right, you see the ridge line right there. All right, I got focused on the ridge line now. That's when Tales of the Blue-Eyed Indian said, do you realize at this moment it's really the same time around the world? And that hit me. That changed me right there. I was like, whew. It is, even though we got different time zones and everything, at this moment, it's the same moment everywhere. You know, that's deep. I always give Tales that credit for that. That like just boom woke me up even more. It was something that I knew, but that solidified it. I guess I don't know. It made so much sense, and it put everything in perspective. Kind of ties in with the neutrinos. Oh yeah, I see eyeball. It's probably a deer. No, that was too tall to be a deer. I thought I was looking lower to the ground. I can't see up in these woods. Yeah, I'm looking for, you remember when those things screamed during my live stream? It's that time of year. Now I got no spotlight. See, this thing's more like a floodlight, but this thing's a spot. I get deeper up in those woods. closest neighbor's dog started barking. So it's getting this direction, whatever. It could be deer, who knows? I'm sorry. Man, look, I work 40 hours a week and I pay all my bills, but it's crazy. I spend $650 a month just to go to work in gas and lunch. I'm counting gas and lunch. Man, it costs to get daggum anything to eat. Man, I was going to this daggum Mexican buffet thing. It started out, like 2 years ago. It was like you go up there lunch special. It was like, I don't know, 1047 or something like that. All you can eat, but man, it would fill you up, so you didn't eat that much. We go back and it's $16. I went back a couple weeks ago. Now it's $18. Oh yeah, I guess I'm all right. I don't believe in doctors, and I'm still alive, so. What's going on, Kim? I'm just trying to get some audio out here, and nothing's doing anything. But I swear, as soon as I go inside, I know deer come out here. I said, I don't think anything's gonna do anything out here. Last night was crazy as hell. Maybe they know now if they smell smoke coming this way, it ain't nothing but me. Maybe it only works the first time I do it out. It's kind of disheartening, isn't it? This is terrible. It's some sort of bug. What good would that do, Cupcake? If you couldn't wake up tomorrow, how could you use it? No, I got her in the house. She's been acting real ornery. That dog has severely bitten me over the last year. I'm talking about hanging off my forearm, holding on, biting, and then getting her off, holding on to my other thumb, the other arm on my thumb, and then getting her off my thumb, got the index finger on the arm she was already biting. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with her. All right. I'm going to tell y'all might think I'm crazy or whatever, but one time, and Ouija was looking the direction I was looking, and I picked Ouija up and I had her in my arms, and I'm watching her where she's staring at, and it's exactly where I'm staring at. We're sitting there looking, and we sat there and sat there for a good 3 minutes, right? I was like, all right, I'm gonna make half the distance to what we're looking at, which we couldn't tell. I don't know, but something was over there, right? And that's my dog. distance, and we stopped. And Ouija was getting more alert, like, and really looking. And I'm sitting there looking, and I swear, man, it was like one of them. It was it was like a cloaked army man. I saw the fatigue sleeves and the slight outline and stuff, and it turned and it started walking off. But it blended in like that Predator thing, that movie. It was just like that. And then I really took off after it. And I could look through to my neighbor's, his yard has got less trees. And I never saw anything go over that way. I swear, man. Are lightning bugs, do they have like red eye? I mean, these lightning bugs out here are like green, yellow. It's so quiet. I don't have a stand. I don't deer hunt. How one day I was going to work in town. I don't know what I was doing, but anyhow, there's like some roadkill in the middle of the highway, right? And this hawk was fighting off like 5 crows because the hawk was probably starving, right? I'm like, shit. But the hawk did not move when I went by, so I hit the brakes real bad hard and I backed up. And the hawk finally flew off, and I grabbed a stick off the side of the road. And what was it? It was a armadillo. And I sat there and I used that stick and threw that armadillo on the shoulder. That way, at least, the hawk would bite him off on the shoulder and wouldn't get run over. I mean, it was right in the middle of the lane, not the center line, the lane. But I try to protect wildlife and stuff. I just want proof this daggone big feet things are real. Because I know what I seen. And I know they're out here. But daggone if they ain't doing nothing tonight. Are lightning bugs blue? I'm telling you, I got so many different, maybe they're orbs and not even lightning bugs. All right, y'all. Oh, I guess I'm going to have to get off here. I appreciate y'all showing up. But as soon as I turn this off, it'll do something. Until next time, just good seeing you, Cupcake. I ain't never been in a deer stand. Ever that I ever. The only time I ever was down in Florida, and me and this dude were starving, so we took off and got out in the woods, and there's a tree that had a branch good enough that we could climb up and sit on. And we didn't see anything, but that's the only time I ever got. Ever since then, man, I like, I guess you call it stalking, where you stay on the ground. I don't use blinds. I mean, I was a trigger man for a girl one time. She was scared she was gonna miss, but she wanted to get a deer, so well, she didn't. She gave me some meat, but I mean, I didn't do it for payment. I just told her I'd do it for her. I did. I hated it, but it didn't get wasted or nothing. You know what I mean? It fed a lot of people. It wasn't like it was trophy hunting. I don't get it, man. Any other night, there'd be some weird stuff going on. Just my luck. All right, let me get off of here. Y'all have a good night.